Today, we're unboxing the Canon R5 SmallRig camera handheld kit with a top handle and a cable clamp. It is number 3830. Now, some may say that this powerhouse of a camera doesn't need a cage or a top handle due to its in-body stabilization, which makes handheld shots somewhat of a breeze, while others would side that this is a necessary accessory to this camera simply due to the vast mounting points that this bad boy has when it comes to rigging things. Now, whatever side that you're on, let's check out just the kit. Now, this cage was purchased from Amazon with all three parts. It came with the cage, the top handle, and also the cable clamps, and everything costs $109. Now, I've checked at the time of this recording and the price still remains the same. Now, I'll make sure to place a link in the description because for all three parts, that's a really good deal. Now, I can tell you the feel of this cage and handle allows for a much better grip, especially when you have accessories on this cage such as the screen and also batteries, let's say like those big NP batteries. For me, I use the Atomos Ninja on here and it's really great for actually seeing what I'm shooting. Now, without any further chatting, let's get down to just the unboxing itself.
Alright, so getting into the boxing, I love the way SmallRig just package everything up. They just have a way of putting things together. First, we have our top handle. The best part about SmallRig and their products, they have the Allen keys built in, as you can see on the handle itself. The Allen keys is magnetic and it's already attached to the top handle. But first, let's look at the different Allen keys that it does come with and screws that you're going to need later. Let's go ahead and place that to the side. And also the biggest feature to this particular product, what I love, is the cable clamps, because you need that just in the event your cables get locked onto something or just to make sure you have a secure connection. And of course, your cage, really well built, engineered specifically to the camera itself. Let's go ahead and put those to the side so you can take a look at everything that comes in. You got two screws, two Allen keys, you have the cable mount, you have the cage, and you have the top handle. And of course, we have the R5, which is not included, as you know, but again, the R5. On the bottom, there's a mount itself, as you can take a look at. I just took the screw out, and it's also this really fancy key which allows you to tighten the screw to the bottom, as well as has an Allen kind of shape to it, so you can go ahead and screw in the bottom two bolts to the bottom of the camera. Alright, so the first thing you want to go ahead and do is take the screw that comes on the back of the cage and on the bottom of the cage and unscrew the two bolts. Those two bolts are what's going to lock into the bottom of the camera. As you can see right here, those two bolts, they're going to go onto the bottom of the R5. They have two areas to where those screws are going to latch in or screw in, and that just makes sure that the cage itself is nice and secure to your camera, which is by far the best thing. What I love about SmallRigs, they look into making sure that everything is intact with the camera that you have. Alright, so you take those screws out to slip the camera in. You cannot slip the camera in without those two screws being removed. Now, it has a really nice feel to it. It really, in my opinion, does not take away from the shape of the camera. It just, again, flows into the feel of the camera itself. So then what you want to do is take those two screws and go ahead and screw those back in, because again, this is what's locking the camera onto the cage itself. So just kind of bear in mind, once this cage is on, it's on. It's not something that you could just like pop in and pop off in the middle of a session. Once it's on, it's pretty much on. Alright, so it's on as of right now. Now you want to go ahead and take the big bolt and screw it into the bottom of the cage itself, and take that same key that comes on the bottom of the cage and just screw it and get that nice and tight. Alright, so this assures you that the cage isn't going anywhere. It's really not going anywhere. Really cool shape. And again, it does not take away from any of the function of the camera. On the side where the battery, where the memory card grip goes, it's flush to it. Now let's go into the top handle. The top handle, what I love, really, to be honest, about this camera, it's large enough for you to fit. You can fit your hands around. In my opinion, if you have large hands, it definitely works. Now it comes with two pins at the top of the handle, which goes into the two pins on the top of the cage. You want to go ahead and start screwing the major bolt into the top of the cage, and then you're going to take the Allen key that came with the package and just go ahead and get that nice and tight, because the last thing you want is your handle moving around when you want to get a stable shot. And that's the side angle of it. And this is the other side angle of the R5 with the cage on there. Again, it's a really nice feel. I really love this cage, definitely for the R5. The best part about it is now looking into the side cable clamp. The side cable clamp, in my opinion, is one of the best features with this cage itself. It comes with two small screws that are going to mount down to the bottom of the cage. The one thing you want to go ahead and do is open up the flaps of the camera before you put this cable clamp on. Why? Because once it's on, it's really difficult to get those flaps open. So just bear in mind, if you're in the elements or if you're in any dusty conditions, once those flaps are open, your camera is open at this point and vulnerable to any type of dust or moisture in any way. The clamp itself comes with these two screws, which lock in the cables to the camera. So we're just going to go ahead and see the illustration on that itself. Okay, so once the screws are loose, there's like a little latch that moves over, and that is what tightens on and locks the cables in place. I think it's a really great design, especially again if you're using a Ronin or if you're just out in the field, if you're running gunning. You just want to make sure those cables are locked in. And again, I just want to stress that you have to open up those flaps to the camera, because once this is in, it's really hard, especially if you're in a pinch, to get those flaps back out to go ahead and input any type of HDMI or any type of USB or microphone jacks or anything of that sort. It's really difficult to get that. As you can see, where the microphone jack is at the side, it's very hard to get that in. So again, you want to go ahead and slip the HDMI in. You want to go ahead and move the clamp over and then tighten it up. It's a really tight grip once it's in there. It's not going anywhere unless you yank it out. And if you yank it out, you're most likely going to go ahead and destroy the HDMI cable. All right, let's go ahead and take that out. As you can see, once you move this over, there's a small flap that it's a really great feel to it. I really love the feel. I really love the way you can move around with the camera. The best thing about it, and I want to go ahead and show you guys this as well. If you're shooting vertical in today's society, of course, we know social media, a lot of things are vertical. It actually allows you to mount the handle to the side of the camera for really great vertical shots. And again, this keeps your camera nice and stable. It gives you that vertical orientation. You just tighten it in and it just locks into place. This is great. I really love the fact how it's so versatile with this handle, where you could do both. You could do horizontal and vertical shooting. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the camera itself, just from all angles. I wanted to go ahead and keep that vertical orientation in so you could take a look at it. The best part about this handle as well, the handle allows you to mount a monitor onto it. It has a clamp on that allows you to mount the monitor on, and then it locks it in place.
Okay, the build quality and feel of this camera in your hands with this cage is amazing. I especially love the fact that you could take this top handle and mount it to the side, and it gives you a really good grip for vertical recording. Now, we all know in today's social media is calling for it, the vertical shots, and this helps you get those vertical shots whether low or high. In all, I definitely recommend this grip to all my R5 users out there for video. I believe that this grip can be used when you're doing photo, but I haven't tested that to date. But I just know that there's mounting points at the bottom of this cage itself that you can actually mount your leather straps to it. Now, if you like this video, do us a favor, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to check out more content like this and all things related to the photo and video space. Until next time, keep those cameras pointed.